Welcome to Campfire Wisdom. Grab a seat around the fire and tell us your story.
Welcome back to Campfire Wisdom. We are actually outside here at Nick's place.
Greg, you know how we should light it?
How's that?
With the pages of that book.
Oh, dude. I love that idea. I love that. Here, we are going to be lighting the fire in a very unique way. So first off, we do not have a campfire because we're in the midst of winter. Actually, do that one, dude. Save this. So we actually got this book. So we're at Nick's place, and there's one of his neighbors must be having a garage sale in the backyard. So he's got this book, and it says, "Happiness begins before breakfast." And so we will rip a page from this, and we'll read a page and see if we can get this shit lit. So it says, "Living and growing. Each of us has abilities in differing amounts. It's not the capabilities, but how they're used that counts." Wow. What do you think about that?
Pretty profound.
Here, I'll let you do the next page.
Okay. I like
read
this.
the next one. Yeah, this is cool.
So
We'll just keep doing this until we get this bitch lit. And this is
All right,
definitely...
so the page I just ripped out. Oh, I like this. A man's conduct indicates the strength of his conscience and how well he listens to its voice. Jesus. We're just lighting.
Are you sure we want to burn that one? Damn.
We're just lighting these pages up.
That's a good one, actually. What year is this from? This is 1969. Happiness begins before breakfast. No disrespect to the authors here, Harry and Joan Meyer, by the way. We're just, trying to get this thing lit as best way as possible.
Somebody put this book out in their front yard.
Yeah, let's just feed this bitch here. I'm going to take out like a bunch of pages. So weird. All right, so here we go. Loss of traction. Like a tire trapped by ice or mud, when emotion robs us of our grip, we whirl and spin, burn ourselves up, wear ourselves out, but get nowhere. Okay, that was not really very good, but so that deserves to be burned.
This is the best opening so far.
Time to speak up. Since silence is often taken for assent, personal integrity demands we protest those positive assertions, which we do not agree if we're to retain our self-respect. Okay, these are definitely ancient maxims.
So they had their moments, but
They did. And maybe that's why we can't light the fire with them. It's just not really, we're waiting for that perfect saying. I'm just going to throw a bunch in here just to create.
Here we go. Here's the great.
Nick is about to throw a torch in here.
Yeah, we got the real paper going here. We got the real college ruled shit. That book paper lights fast.
There we go. There we go. And that turned out to be a limp dick.
So this is going to be your first Chiminea cast.
This is the inaugural Chiminea cast, and we don't have, we have to give credit where credit is due to your brother Matt, who coined the term Chiminea cast. He would want to be credited as such.
He would,
Yeah.
and he is also the person who purchased this Chiminea.
Oh,
He got it
you're right.
for me and Marion as a Christmas gift.
Eventually, there's a huge fireball that's just going to go up here
Yeah,
with all this paper that's thrown in here. We are re-seasoning this as we speak.
Bear with us. Bear with us.
But the nice thing is we got to find an alternative in the winter here, because a lot of the campsites we've been to recently are closed. There's not really an easy way to find a place to kind of light a fire. And wow, there we go. There we go. Get that wood caught there. Maybe we just burn the whole damn book at some point. Cheers, man.
Coors Light.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ooh.
So now we can say welcome back to Campfire Wisdom. We've got a fire that appears to be almost lit, and yeah, we'll see here.
So this chiminea was given to me by my brother on Christmas, depending on. Anyway, this chiminea was given to me by my brother for Christmas last year, and apparently chimeneas you're supposed to warm up the clay. You don't want to light like a rager inside of the chiminea.
Yep.
At first. So there's a good story with this chiminea because brother who is very by the book. He hasn't been on a Campfire Wisdom yet, has he?
He is not, no.
Crazy.
I know.
So my brother, Matt, he's very by the book, right? So he gives us this chiminea and he's like, there are rules. You gotta slow burn it. You gotta light the little fires and really warm up the clay because it'll crack. So he comes over after our chiminea is set up, because it's like a 3-piece chiminea. It's like a big clay circle with an open mouth. It sits on a metal stand with a with another clay chimney that you can take off. So my brother comes over the first time we use a chiminea, and my wife, Marion, who's been on your podcast before, lights a fucking rager. Just
Like right in front of him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't know, she didn't get the memo. Well, she did get the memo, she just didn't care about said memo, not to light a rager inside of a clay, a brand new clay pit. And she lit a fucking rager, and my brother's face was just like, cool, yeah, no, that's okay.
He was like uncomfortable.
No, he was just definitely like, God damn it, you didn't listen to my advice. It was so funny.
That's
so
funny.
this chiminea has a good story to it already.
That's great.
And now it's seasoned because it's been through the Marion burner.
Yeah.
Because she's a pyro.
And it's such a throwback. I don't know about you, but every time I see it, yours and your brother's, it just reminds me of Arizona.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a very southwestern thing.
It totally is, right? Yeah.
But they
Did
get
you
pretty
name
hot.
it, by the way?
Are you supposed to name it?
I don't know. I totally don't even know. I was just thinking, you patted it just now, and I was like, do you have like a relationship with it, a name?
Let's name it. I want to name it Coyote.
Okay. I like that. That's a good name, man.
Because I don't know why, I'm obsessed with coyotes right now.
Dude, you know what? I would love you to tell right now that story of the coyote from Griffith Park.
Oh, jeez.
That's a great fucking story.
Yeah, I got one for you.
If you don't mind sharing
No.
Let me just throw a couple pages in there.
Greg is ripping up Happiness Begins Before Breakfast. And
I
we're
feel
just
like
feeding
it's
this
a little
fire.
disrespectful, right? I mean, we're throwing in this book here, but...
It was disrespectful of the lady who bought it to put it outside.
True.
I feel like whenever you give up a book, you're giving up something that somebody spent a lot of time on.
True.
But us to burn it, I don't feel that bad. We didn't buy it. But, so, we're from Tucson. I don't know if you set that stage, I'm sure, early on in your podcast, but there's a lot of coyotes in Tucson. And we don't have a lot of run-ins with them, but...
I don't think I've ever ran into a coyote. I mean, like, I've seen a coyote, but yeah, I'll leave it at that.
So I was sitting at Griffith Park in Los Angeles, California. Probably four years ago. And I was on my yoga mat, and I was doing it's real granola shit. I was doing some yoga in the park by myself and just reading a book. I was in the zone. I had my guitar with me. Again, some real granola shit.
This is right when you just finished your yoga training, right?
Yeah,
so you were kind of meditating.
I was studying for yoga training.
Okay.
I was practicing poses, and I really was just in my own world. And this will cement what I'm about to say. So I'm playing my guitar, taking a break from reading my book, and it's the middle of the day in Griffith Park. It's like 3 p.m. And this lady from the street, I can see her, she starts yelling at me. I'm like, well, why is this lady yelling at me? I'm the only person sitting in the park. She's like, look. And I'm like, what? I turn my head to the right, and there's a coyote 6 inches from my face staring at me. Just a coyote. just staring at me, not mean, not being aggressive, just looking at me the same way I'm looking at it. And I jumped right up and grabbed my guitar like it was a baseball bat and just held it up. And the coyote was like, "What the fuck, dude? Like, chill, bro." I was just, because I was playing my guitar. I don't know if he was like curious, like, what the fuck is this thing? But it could have like attacked my jugular. I didn't even know it was there.
Oh my God.
The lady on the street saw all of this happen because she had alerted me about the coyote. So she sees me get up, scream, and she's like, "Did you not know that was there?" And I was like, "No." And she goes, "I thought you were singing to it." And I was like, "No, I wasn't singing to a fucking coyote."
Oh my God, that's hilarious. I thought he just came. I didn't know the whole part with the guitar, man. So
I was playing
you're
the
in the
guitar.
zone. You're in the zone.
And it just came up, and I turned my head, and there's a fucking coyote in my face. You know, probably as big as a big dog that you see walking around. So, you know, and then actually, it must have been hungry or something. Maybe, I'm sure I had like, you know, a Cliff Bar or something with me that it smelled or something.
Okay.
Because it then went on and started following the lady with a newborn. Like, it was looking to do something bad to eat. And we had to actually go and chase it off from a lady that was like with her newborn.
Because she was actually scared.
She was like, I mean, I think that the coyote was like, oh, a small human. I could probably carry that.
I could probably eat that small human.
So we actually had to go chase it off with my guitar, and that was my coyote in Griffith Park story.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy because if you think about it, that animal is so probably used to human interaction that he's just like, "Oh yeah, it's not a big deal. I'm gonna go up to this guy."
I guess not.
You
But
know?
we were, that lady in the car definitely was worried. But I keep thinking, like, what if it fucking just bit me or something?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That'd be a crazy story.
That would be a crazy story.
My grandma tells a story one time that, because we grew up at the base of Mount Lemmon, living with my grandparents, you know, Southwest. It's like it's a lot of like javelina, coyotes, snakes, a lot of that stuff. And my grandma says that I was outside one time playing with my Ninja Turtles, and I was very young. I don't even remember it, but she said she looked outside and there was a pack of coyotes surrounding me.
No shit.
Yeah, I was like
Wow.
4 or 5. And
Do you remember where they lived off of there?
Yeah, it was on Houghton Road.
Oh, no shit. I know exactly where that is, yeah.
If I go back there, I will cry on the spot. I'll
Wow.
cry immediately.
Wow.
I look forward to going back there and having a moment. But yeah, she said she looked outside and there was a pack of coyotes surrounding me. She ran out and scared them off.
Oh my gosh, dude.
But
That's
coyotes
crazy.
are interesting animals, but
For some reason, they're drawn to you, man. You got this bond.
might
Have
be
you ever
my
thought
spe-
about that?
No.
Is
I
that your
haven't.
spirit animal?
I think it is.
Right?
Can I pick my spirit animal?
I think you can. I mean, you haven't done ayahuasca yet, so you haven't been proven wrong.
Oof. Is
You know what I mean?
On ayahuasca, you find your spirit animal?
Supposedly, that's where you can get in touch with it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things that, like, the shamans will say that, like, if there was a pamphlet about doing ayahuasca, it was like, hey, get in touch with your spirit animal. That's kind of one of the things they kind of advertise.
I know that when I did the smoke lodge,
Yeah.
is that what it's called?
Sweat
Am I saying
lodge,
it?
right?
Sweat lodge,
Yeah.
sorry. I did a sweat lodge with like a legit older Native American man that was very in tune with the universe. And a sweat lodge is basically, you're in a rock teepee, and they bring hot rocks in and pour water on them and smoke you out and you sweat. It's basically like a hot yoga class times a million. And in those, you're supposed to see your spirit animal because you get pretty close to death, or you think you're close to dying.
Yeah.
And you see shit. I did not see my spirit animal, but a lot of the people there said that they did, and I was very bummed. But now,
Maybe you can choose it.
I'm not just going to choose mine.
Dude, you're a spirit
But
animal.
maybe
That's,
if I choose it and I did ayahuasca, the coyote would show up and be like, "What's up, dude?
Yeah,
What's up,
man.
dog? You
It's
picked me."
he's like, hey, remember I was trying to, like, talk to you that one night at Griffith Park.
So,
Dude, that's, by the way, I would really love to do ayahuasca at some point.
my wife really wants to do it,
Yeah.
and I feel like I may as well, you know. Like,
Would
fuck
you do it?
Yeah, I'd do it.
Yeah,
I don't
okay.
care. At this point, I have nothing to fear in life
Yeah,
except fear itself.
right.
It's
Because
like
the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to get upset stomach, you're going to feel like shit, and then you're going to just have to hold on if it's bad. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
The only time I've seen it was seen somebody on it was Chelsea Handler did like this documentary series on Netflix,
Okay.
and she did ayahuasca like on camera with her friends.
Oh, no
It
shit.
was pretty epic. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'd like to see that. I got to do that.
But I would try it. I think. I tried that before mushrooms, which is weird.
Huh.
I don't know.
Dude,
I know that makes me
I was
weird.
watching this fantastic show about mushrooms. Actually, it was like a BBC show on Netflix. But, anyways, make a long story short, like mushrooms are amazing things. Like if you think like their spores, like so when you take the cap off of a mushroom and you put it on a white piece of paper, it'll have a signature. So that particular mushroom, you just leave it there. The spores will fall out of the gills because, you know, like the little strands that are underneath the cap,
Mhm.
they're called gills. And it'll make essentially a mushroom fingerprint. From that, a mycologist, a guy who studies mushrooms, could tell you, oh, that's a so-and-so, based on the color of the spores and like the pattern. Isn't that crazy?
Jesus.
That's how you could get their fingerprint of a mushroom.
Every single mushroom.
Every single mushroom. In fact, I haven't done it yet because I just watched it, but the next time I buy them at the store, I'm going to buy some whole ones and take the cap off and just, even from the store, and see if I can recreate what they did. But it's pretty cool, man.
That's
Pretty cool.
epic. I like that Aaron was right. We got a little lubed up at the ye old rustic.
Oh, we have
Inn.
to, yeah, Aaron asked us
So-
to recall him.
Aaron asked us to call him out when he listens to the podcast. So Aaron, we are
We're thinking about you.
continuing to put the cold ones down and thinking about you.
Yeah, you know, there's something I love about Aaron. He's a very spiritual dude in a different way. You know what I mean? He definitely loves and craves that connection,
Yeah,
but in a different way.
it's like his God is different. You know how a lot of people have, like God is in different forms.
Yeah.
So like a lot of people like believe in God, but God can be that tree or like your Nintendo or something like his. It's not literally God, but just it's like the thing that speaks to him, his universe that calls to him, that like brings the Aaron out of Aaron is just so different.
It is.
It's not
That's
the
a
same thing
really-
that calls out of me.
That's funny. That's an interesting way to put it because it is very unique to him, and he definitely embraces it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what's so great
yeah.
about him. Is he?
What do you say? He's a Nintendo. It just brings him happiness. Nintendo. Mario makes him happy.
Mario makes him
That's
happy,
funny.
and he's sitting next to his girlfriend, who is just smiling and not judging him, which is awesome.
Yeah, but AB.
Colleen, what up?
Colleen's cool. What up?
I know.
Better put a ring on that, huh?
I know. Hey, so Aaron, he better, man.
Aaron's like, "Fuck you guys.
I know.
I hate
this
you."
is where Aaron stopped the podcast.
Yeah. And he's like, "Hey, babe, was it any good?" No, it kind of changed. You know, kind of went different directions.
Colleen, we're pressuring him. We won't
Yeah.
stop. Don't worry.
We love you.
So
yeah.
the Chiminea is lit. It's on fire. We got a good fire going now.
Yeah, man, we got a good hiss, and I don't think we need to burn any more paper. So Harry and Joan Meyer. It's funny. This guy actually wrote the book with his wife. You realize that?
God, that sounds like hell.
Yeah. It just sounds like they definitely there was some pain in the editing process.
God, I can
Absolutely.
barely cook breakfast with my wife without us murdering each other.
Yeah.
Could you imagine writing a book?
I know. It's funny because sometimes two forces that are collaborative, because it's like you're a team, you're married, you're going to be together for the rest of your life. But sometimes it's like, damn, I got to get away from you right now.
Absolutely.
You know, it's
yeah.
crazy sometimes.
It's like that with everybody. And
Yeah.
It's like that with my boss, or friends, or if me and you spent 6 months in the woods, we'd probably be like, I just need to get away from that human
That's
that
true.
I associate with being in the woods.
That's true.
But when you live with somebody, there's no escape. It's a constant. It's good to have your own things. Like one thing I thought I would regret is I play golf, and I've been teaching my wife, Marion, to play golf.
Okay.
She loves it. And
She any good?
she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is crazy because I've been playing since I'm 12 and I'm, half decent. She just picks it up and is like pretty fucking good. But
Natural.
when I tell my friends, like, yeah, I'm teaching, I'm going to play golf with my wife, they're like, what? Why? Why would you teach your wife the one thing that gets you out of the house without your wife? And that's a valid argument. And I didn't really think about it that way. But it has also turned into something that we do together that is like something we really enjoy doing together, which is cool.
It is cool.
It's like this thing that you normally do with your dudes that I've done with my dudes my whole life, where you just drink and, hope the cart girl's hot. It turns into something like you do with your wife that's like a really fun time to connect and share, make some memories out there, being competitive and
I like that, dude.
stuff.
I remember when we first, remember years ago, we were talking about having a couple's night playing poker. And you were in a different place. You're all, no, this is for dudes
I
only.
still think that.
Oh, do you?
I cannot play poker with, I cannot play poker recreationally.
Okay.
I can only play poker for keeps. There has
Okay.
to be money. I respect and love the game too much to like play for pennies.
You feel like it's dumbing it down a little bit?
No, I just can't even do it. Like when
Okay.
I play poker, it is there's like this visceral thing where I'm playing for keeps.
Okay.
So when you're playing with your grandma.
You are very different when you play poker. You like actually take on this like persona.
Oh.
Yeah.
I go into a zone.
Yeah, totally.
I go
What
somewhere
was
else.
your? We all had like nicknames.
Sherlock Clover.
Sherlock
is what Alex dubbed me.
That's right. Because you were
'Cause I
always
was-
figuring out exactly
Yeah.
what people had in their hands, and you were
Yeah.
pretty fucking spot on.
I always say there's a few things in my life that I focus on, and when
Yeah.
I focus on, I do well at. Poker is one of them.
Yeah,
one of
Alex
my-
just played in a tournament yesterday, actually.
Alex did?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch, didn't hit me up.
Yeah.
He's good too.
Yeah, he's good at poker, man.
I'm glad you got him on a Campfire Wisdom, because getting him on a mic and chatting isn't always the easiest, but that first episode was fun.
Yeah, it was, man.
I'm like batting like 600 right now for Campfire Wisdoms.
Oh, dude, it's great, dude. It's fucking awesome.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. Well, it's something to be said about, like, you've been along for the camping journeys, and this is kind of a nice adaptation, because if you think about it, a lot of times someone in the city might say, shit, I can't really go camping, so how can I harken back to, like, that mentality? Well, it's, dude, Chiminea, man.
No, it's really nice.
Right?
Yeah, to set the stage, we're sitting in my backyard, a couple of lawn chairs we got at the Rose Bowl flea market from a nice gentleman, and staring into a chiminea. Got some fake grass and some lawn chairs, and it's a nice little backyard.
It is, man. I like
Yeah.
your grill, too. You know what I got to say is you got this setup over here, which is ideal for beer pong. Because, even
Been
no
known
matter
to
how
do
old
that
you
at
are,
parties,
beer
yeah.
pong's never gets old.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the grill over here. We got the chiminea. And then we got this set up. We moved the actual wood table right behind us. So the chiminea is in between us, but we could each reach back and grab wood and throw it in if necessary. So
And we are doing so.
this is ideal.
No, this
Yeah.
is nice. So your birthday is Thursday?
Holy shit.
Is it?
It's Wednesday, actually.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah. That's crazy. I'll
It's
be
your birthday?
43, man.
43.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Are you in like? I know when my birthdays come up, I get in like I go cerebral.
Yeah, actually, it's funny you say that. We're very much alike. It's interesting.
Apparently.
Yeah. I'm very much like that because I always feel like your birthday is kind of a time where you do an audit of your life. It's like, okay, 43 years have gone, and what have I done? You know what I mean? It's like you really take stock of what's going on. But what might be happening, as you know, but I'll share with everyone else, is that might be the day that I'll be fertilizing eggs from our donor. So it might actually be the start of like the next Stutzy generation for me, which is kind of cool.
Oh.
So wouldn't that be kind of a trip if it was
I love
actually
that.
on my birthday?
I love that.
I know.
It's fitting.
So for those of you who've been following, I'm in the midst of IVF, and we're at that point where it's all the donor eggs are coming. They're going to be ready next week. And I know it's so hard to explain to everybody. I have this great graphic, so maybe I should share that with you guys. But in short, the eggs from the donor will be taken out of the donor, and then they'll be fertilized by me. Once they're good and solid, they'll take the best of those and put them back inside of my girlfriend, and then obviously we'll have hopefully a baby from that. So it's the final stage of that whole IVF process, but that beginning of that last process might actually be on my birthday, which could be fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
That's
It's crazy.
exciting.
And I know we've talked about it before, but you're in the midst of that journey as well, you know?
We are in the IUI stage,
Yeah.
which is fucking, it's crazy.
Yeah.
We're two of, I mean, we don't even like do these podcasts about this on purpose, but we just happen to be the two people doing these. I happen to be the guy doing these podcasts with you, and I'm going through the same thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not as coincidental as we think, but yeah, we're in the IUI stage, which is where they just take the sperm and basically like turkey baste it directly onto, for lack of a better term, like where the things happen with the lady. So they really like pepper that area, but we're doing that, which is cool. Danielle, my neighbor. So
We
we're
got
in my
some neighbors
backyard.
talking
It's my
shit.
neighbor Danielle. She'll probably. Oh, that's my wife.
The voice of Marion is indistinguishable.
Yeah, but my friend Gerber does Marion's. When he talks like Marion, he goes, "Nicholas, what are you doing?" He sounds like an 80-year-old dude. I'm like, why do you think my wife sounds like that?
That's
Like,
funny.
why do you? But so my wife's ears were ringing as we were speaking about reproduction. But yeah, that's the road we're on. But it's a crazy world, man.
Yeah, it is, man.
Crazy world. I'm
Well,
excited for you guys though. 'Cause
Yeah, me
you guys
too.
you guys started before us with that journey because you guys knew, what was going on earlier, and then you guys are fucking about to
Yeah, hopefully,
cross
man.
the end zone,
I know.
man.
I know.
It's a long drive.
It's a long drive, dude. And it's funny because I'm at that point where it's like I've learned not to get my hopes up. I know it sounds really shitty to say that,
No,
but
it doesn't.
but at the same time, it's like, okay, just hope for the best, but expect the worst. And I know that's just goes absolutely contradictory to my nature because I'm such an optimist.
Totally.
But I've just learned from experience that okay. It's okay to get your hopes up, but it's okay to also say, if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be okay. You know what I mean? Because that's part of the process, is understanding that you're not at a dead end if it doesn't fail.
Right.
There's other avenues, so.
I could not agree more.
Yeah.
There's like something that where like you want to be positive, but
Yeah.
when it turns up quite literally negative every
Yeah.
time, it gets so fucking hard.
It does.
So then negative just becomes like, well, I will accept the negative every time, and you can't imagine the point of like being positive.
I know.
And I'm totally there. I'm just
Right.
like, when it happens, I'll be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Right.
what the fuck? Really, it'll be like, it's something that like is supposed to happen,
Yeah,
like our
totally.
bodies are supposed to do it. But I'll be like, you're shitting me.
I know.
Are you? And it shouldn't be like that. But
I know.
I
I
think,
know.
will.
I think you get kicked in the nuts enough times, and you're literally, and you're like, okay, yeah, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And then it does work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No, Marion and I have both been, we've been tempering our hopes, which is a shitty thing to do.
Yeah, it is.
Like, why,
I
why
know.
do it?
It does
But-
take the fun out of it. But like we talked about it, it's like, shit, for fucking 25 years I was trying not to get girls pregnant. And then finally I want to get a girl pregnant. And it's like, God damn, this is a bitch. You know what I mean?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. I mean, especially like the girls, they're like on birth control for how long?
I know, right?
And then like,
Yeah.
it's just,
It's funny, I realize, it's funny, you were talking about, like, I don't know if it's coincident, but I feel like we do talk about like parenthood and that kind of stuff often, just because I think it is such a, for me, it's such a present thing. And it's also kind of, I don't know if you feel the same way, but it's been kind of a driving force for me as far as creatively and just like trying to put myself out there more and just experimenting with things, like saying, hey, look, I'm setting the stage for the next generation. You know what I mean? You feel that way too?
Right, like you're in preparation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe subconsciously I do.
Yeah.
I more am at the point where I feel like the journey itself is so hard that by way of perspective, it makes me feel like I can do other things that I wouldn't normally think I could do.
Because you're enduring.
I'm just, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just like
if I can do this, I can do anything?
Exactly. Like
okay.
the things that, like, before I'd be like, I can't do that. I shouldn't do that. Now I'm like, fuck that shit.
That's
interesting. Fucking easy.
Yeah,
so I'm kind of in that mode.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't worry about. I don't think about like readying myself for the next generation, because I just am in such the throes of trying to create the next generation. And I'm not even putting that cart before the horse. I'm just like.
I love that. That's true, man. It's funny because we do have a tendency, in many cases, to kind of get ahead of ourselves. And actually, I'm always guilty of that. Yeah.
It's to bring up Aaron again, which I know he'll love. We were just talking about podcasts at the bar, and when you see, it's good to get ahead of yourself in some ways to motivate yourself, like about projects or something. But when Aaron, you came up with a name for a podcast that Aaron should do, and he got like really excited. He was like stoked on this idea, and you could see him putting the cart before the horse.
Totally.
And that's where you want to. You're like, yeah,
that's true.
That's where you just like, like it's the perfect time for it to happen, because you need to put the cart before the horse, and then you got to like put your money where your mouth is and catch up and accomplish the idea. But as far as like, so seeing somebody like excited about an idea makes you realize that sometimes that's good.
You're right.
But as far as the
yeah, sometimes it's good to have that angle on it, because that's what is going to get it done.
Yeah, you need to. I mean, I've started so many projects and not finished them. If you ask my friends, I'm probably known for it, and it's because I get really excited. I know I have a great idea, and then I go full-fledged in doing it, but like I can't sustain that optimism or that drive or something.
The energy, yeah.
Or like at the idea's conception, I cannot sustain that excitement or something. I don't know what it is. I'm getting better at it in my older age, but in my earlier to mid 20s, it was just like doing projects and I'm not failing, but just not finishing them for one reason or another, whether it was excuses or they were valid, but who knows.
Well, you mentioned earlier, it's like, obviously you're working on a television show that's, Emmy Award winning, and whatnot, but at the same time, the stuff that really lights your fire is those personal victories, Yeah,
like it hasn't won yet.
Yeah.
But I do work on a show that is nominated for
Nominated,
Emmys.
I'm sorry.
But I don't care. Like when me and you, because this is some inside baseball, Greg was over here at my house, and we uploaded our podcasts together just to, have some fucking drinks and make it fun, because it's an annoying thing if any of you have ever uploaded podcasts.
Two heads are better than one when it comes to figuring out how to get this shit up and running. That's for sure.
Apple doesn't exactly let you just record into your phone and put it on iTunes. So,
nope.
We did that, but when I uploaded that, it was like the most satisfying fucking thing I have done in my life.
Yeah.
And, whether my podcast is good or not, it doesn't matter. Like that excitement, that accomplishment that I felt, it was like nothing like I felt in my career.
Yeah.
It's like in your career, you do things that are cool and you're proud of it. But like, man, when I was a podcaster, officially I was a podcaster.
Yeah.
So dope. Felt great. Nothing like it. So I'm chasing that fucking dragon now. Now I want that for my friends, which is why I was telling Aaron, like, because our friend Aaron had a, God, Aaron's gonna love this.
Yeah, 3 times. Jeez, you're welcome.
Damn. He had a great comic book podcast that I really enjoyed listening to, and I think it really could have done well. And he got busy, and things happen, and he stopped doing it. So I've been trying to get him to do another one, but like I feel like I'm chasing that dragon for other people. I'm like,
Okay,
no.
yeah.
It's almost like you like people that do ayahuasca are like, no, I felt it, I saw it. You should do it.
Totally.
But until we do ayahuasca, we will not know that fucking feeling.
That's true.
So now I'm chasing that fucking podcast dragon, motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well, I think there's the one thing that I will say is just like you can't fake honesty, and I think that's one thing that speaks volumes for what you're trying to do, and I hope that comes across in what I'm trying to do. It's like there's a purpose for it, but the purpose is more about getting your voice out there, but getting your voice out there because it's a positive voice, and I think the world needs those voices. You know what I mean? So, and I think that's like no one's ever going to look at what you're doing and say, oh, that's fake or phony or whatnot. And for me, authenticity and honesty are probably the most important things. And I just think that's the case with what you're trying to do. And like I said, I hope that that's palpable here as well. So.
No, I dig it. And it makes you, with my podcast, I said that the podcasting will make me fish and the fishing will make me podcast. And like on a regular Saturday night, how many times have we lit a fire and hung out,
True.
Not many. So the platform that you've created has like made this happen, which is cool because we get to do this.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's like what, if like 10 people on iTunes are like, you guys are fucking idiots, dorks, can't even knock your girls up, hate you. It's like that's fine. But where
do you live?
We're enjoying it. Yeah.
We'll come there and kill your ass.
I saw some super cool. This like celebrity was on like Instagram, and he's Jewish, and these people were saying like really nasty things to him on his comments.
Okay.
And he like called them out on his video. He like put their name and what they said, and then like they looked up information like where they live, what they do, and started calling them out, and it was incredible. It made me so happy.
That's ballsy, dude.
Yeah.
What was this?
It was Michael Rappaport.
Okay.
So he's,
I like him actually.
Oh, dude, it was great. Man, this guy said some terrible things to him, and they were like calling out his high school, and they were like, "We called your principal Miss whatever." It was great.
Jesus, dude.
So the trolls have been.
Need another one?
Oh yeah, I'm going to grab you another beer.
Actually, I got them all here.
Oh, are you serious?
I fucking brought them all.
Greg.
Leveling up.
Oh.
Dude, by the way, we got this Chiminea raging.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. I was actually worried about being a little chilly, and I know that sounds really like I'm being a big pussy here in Los Angeles, but this is nice.
No, it is. It's going good. I mean, it's no Marion fire.
This hasn't quite reached Marion quality here.
It's funny on other podcasts, if a piece of wood dropped, you'd be like, "Fuck, wood dropped."
Yeah.
But on a Campfire podcast,
we want that audio. Get that audio.
Wood dropping is that's the gold.
That's the gold.
So how many episodes have you put out? You got 2 on iTunes?
We got 2 on iTunes. I'm gonna drop another one on Monday, and then I think I'm ultimately gonna go weekly, but starting off bi-weekly. But it's funny, one thing that, and actually maybe you can help me troubleshoot this a little bit, but I'm trying to obviously the goal is to be more connected with everybody else, with the world, with nature and everything, but I think the main thing that gets in the way is technology. So I'm trying to figure ways that we can all try to step away from technology, maybe as a challenge, a weekly challenge, if you will. Hey, try this week. And not like I'm some guru trying to preach stuff, but just like, hey, here's an idea that might be kind of cool. Try out for yourself, you know what I mean?
What would be, like, do you practice that? Do you
I
still,
don't.
like, turn off your phones for dinners or?
I don't, but I think that part of this is a learning experience for myself as well. So I think I'm going to experiment with a few things. So I think one of which would be to like actually turn off my phone like at night when once I get off work and I'm watching a show with my girl. I don't need to have my phone there and check my messages or, you know, like. Do you find yourself checking your phone throughout the night?
Yeah.
Right?
I've noticed more lately. Sometimes Marion and I will both be on our phone on Instagram or something at the same time, which my instinct is to judge us and be like, what are we doing? But at the same time, it's like, I mean, is it any different than like a husband and wife in the 50s reading a newspaper together?
True.
So at times I'm judgmental, and then I catch myself and I'm like, fuck it. I mean, neither of us, it's not like we're disconnecting from each other. I don't think we are.
Yeah, but I guess if you're watching a show, like here's a perfect example. You're watching a show and your screen goes off on your phone. You'll look at it and say, oh, what did he text me? But if you were watching a show in the 50s with your wife, you're not going to be reading a newspaper on,
right,
you know what I mean? So it's
totally,
like, it's such
totally.
a like, and I don't think we realize how it pulls us, you know? And I'll be the first to admit that I work for a company that is all about being engaged, but at the same time,
yeah, you do.
I'm trying to find ways to disengage, which are actually like realistic, because that's the whole thing. It has to be something that's realistic that you can actually do, but also has to have some positive benefits to you, you know? Nice.
I feel like, yeah, like, I mean, what positive benefits are you going to get from fucking checking Instagram at 9 at night when you and your wife are watching Stranger Things?
Right.
I'm not popular. I'm not getting a message on Instagram that's going to, somebody wanting to sponsor me or change my world, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck am I getting? Sometimes my wife and I do it. I'll put the face of my phone on the face of her phone, and I'll just say phone sex. So it's basically our phones having sex, and then we don't touch them.
Oh, that's a great idea.
That's like something I say.
love that.
I just put the face of my phone on the face of her phone so you can't see the lights if they do anything.
Do you put them away from you,
And then
like
I
out
put
of
them away
reach?
from us. Yeah, I say phone sex, and I put the phone somewhere, and then we just kind of do our thing.
I love that idea. Do you mind if I rob that?
No, I don't.
I'm gonna fucking rob that.
No.
That's
and
a
it's
great.
not like, you know, we don't do it for all night. You know, we just maybe do it for like the half-hour TV show. So we don't fucking check Instagram for that half hour. And that sounds crazy, but it helps.
It does, right?
And so we do that sometimes, or we're eating dinner or lunch or breakfast at a restaurant. I'll put my face of the phone on the face of her phone and just set them to the side. And she doesn't care. Like, she doesn't need her phone, you know. I don't think any of us need it. We just like it.
I know.
I think there's some people that need it.
There's some people
probably
that need
an addiction, which, have you thought about, you did a whole documentary about addiction to video games, but what do you think it would be like now for phones?
It's funny you say that, because when I was working with Al yesterday, and we were talking about, like, we could totally do an AFK2, like, with video games and phones, which we could do anytime, you know, but...
That just got me hard.
Right?
You
imagine
Alex,
what we could do these days?
AFK2 is like, that's life right there.
Oh my gosh.
Fuck yeah.
That would be...
Because I bet people addicted to their phones would really make people like me. I'd be like, well, how often do I check Instagram?
Yeah.
Or Facebook or Twitter? God, that'd be important right now.
I think your idea is great, and we can cut all this out because we don't want to expose a potential multi-million-dollar idea, which I think is a multi-million-dollar idea.
It is.
So we're not going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it esoterically as an idea that Nick has that could revolutionize. Oh, that's the beer talking. Revolutionize the way that people interact with their phones. So all I'll say is that it's a great fucking idea, and it's all about accountability. So
yeah. If I were only in Silicon Valley.
Yeah. Now, people can, you can reach Nick at his podcast. It's called Gone Fishing with Nick Gagnon. So if any, venture capitalists out there want to pick his brain for that idea, he is available.
I've got an app that'll get your dick sucked. Just kidding.
Exactly.
Just kidding.
Oh,
but
wow.
no, seriously, if you have a lot of money and you don't get your dick sucked, I have an app that'll help you. I really do think it's a good app, though. I think it's good. I don't know, man.
I'm kind of excited to. Are we going to catch up with your brother tonight? What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I was going to send him that picture, actually.
Oh, do it.
So I feel bad we've ghosted him, but I think it's good to ghost him. I think he needed to be ghosted.
He might need to.
We were ghosting him for his own good.
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't had him on yet. My brother Matt is actually how I met Greg, and he's doing his first. Him and his wife have I'm just putting his business on the streets. I don't care. They have a beautiful little boy, and he's just turned 2, and they're doing weekends away from each other. Starting that, to give one or the other a break.
Oh, is this the start of a trend?
This is the start of trying to implement a process. I think,
Okay.
I don't want to speak up for them, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is, and it's
Your
pretty
brother's
cool
very
idea.
procedural. He definitely is all about
Yeah.
the process.
So they're basically doing where one weekend his
Okay.
wife will go away, and one weekend he will go away. Not every month, but once every 4 months, they'll have a weekend where she can go Friday, Saturday, Sunday and do something.
Okay,
And,
I think that's a great idea.
I think that's very important.
Yeah, I
Our
agree.
parents didn't do it, and they all got fucking divorced. So
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
preach on,
Exactly.
preach on, you two. So we're about to go meet up with him later. After this, at some point, we're getting our wood, Greg. We're going through my wood pile, which is
I
good.
know, this is good.
I can have a full wood pile, but my wife will she'll annihilate it in a night.
Well, I was going to say, you used up, because the most recent stuff is vines that you were cut from your backyard.
Yeah, what are
right?
they called?
Pyracantha, right?
I don't know.
No, they were...
these vines are called something. We're in my backyard, and
They have fucking thorns. I stab myself on them.
Yeah.
motherfuckers.
We're in my backyard, and we have an awning, and vines would grow up it. And my wife cut them all down, chopped them up, and they dried out, and that's what we're using to light the fire. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, it is nice. What the hell is it? It's good. I don't remember what it is.
I can't even think of the word.
I hope they can hear that audio. Right?
They have to be able
They
to
have
hear
to be
the
able to hear that.
pops.
The pops
Yeah.
and burning.
It's
You're
good.
not getting the crickets in the fire like we last couple times, but this will do. This will do.
I like this, man.
Yeah.
Cheers, dude.
Cheers, brother.
Good to be out here with
Yeah,
you.
amen.
I sent my brother a picture of us recording by the Chiminea, who we're about to go meet up with. He sent me a text that I feel like was meant to be read on your podcast.
Okay,
I'll let
please
you
do.
decipher
Okay.
if it is or not.
Well, it says, quote, "It had long since come to my attention that people of accomplishment rarely sat back and let things happen to them. They went out and happened to things." Leonardo da Vinci. Wow, that's pretty fucking... Wow, I like that.
Say no more, fam.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Saying, being in the same terminology as Leonardo da Vinci, same caliber as Leonardo da Vinci, that's pretty cool.
I think Matt just gave you your outro.
Yeah. So I think we are going to, what's the name of the place we're going to?
Sportsman's Lounge.
So that being said, we're going to conclude here tonight. This has been the inaugural Chiminea cast. And shout out to Matty G, who has coined the term the Chiminea cast. And I'm sorry that he could not be here in the first one, but we will join him tonight nonetheless in spirit and in not only in spirit but in physical form too. And actually, it's the Coors Light talking right now. I'm babbling.
Ride it. Ride that mountain.
So
The mountains are blue.
We're gonna check out The Mountains Are Blue. We're heading out. Thanks so much for joining us.
Where can we reach you at? Where can these fine folks reach you at?
You know what? Campfirewisdom@gmail.com.
Has anybody emailed you there yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
I
this
can't
is what
wait.
I'm going to do for my fishing podcast.
Okay.
First person to email me on my fishing
Yep.
podcast
Gets to be
that
on
I
it.
don't know.
Yep.
Okay, sure, gets to be on it. It's a good idea, but I'm going to send them a fucking fishing pole.
I love that.
Just the first motherfucker to email me, that's what I'm going to do. So I feel like for Campfire Wisdom, we should
Dude.
really up our ante here. First person
I'll send
to
him a
email
sleeping
Greg
bag.
gets
A sleeping bag.
done. I like it.
Yeah.
So let's lay the bet.
Is
down.
that the coolest gift if you're going to camp?
I mean,
be
it's
outdoors?
a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one, right?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
My sleeping bag wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
Not a
Like,
cheap one. Not a cheap one. Not a Target sleeping bag. No offense, Target.
No, like a good, like a $100 sleeping bag. Like a
Okay.
dope one, right?
All right. So first person that's not your friend to email you at campfirewisdom@gmail.com.
Gmail.com. We'll get a sleeping bag.
Fuck yeah.
I like
Love
that.
this. Now we're fucking talking.
Now we're talking. So send me an email, and you'll get a sleeping bag. How about that?
And with that, we will.
Let's burn the rest of this
Let's
book.
burn the rest
just
of this
burn
book
it.
here. It's your podcast.
No, actually, you should throw it in. It's your Chiminea. We are actually burning the entire book. So it says, happiness begins before breakfast, but for us, happiness begins right now. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
Campfire Wisdom is brought to you from the hills of Rancho Cucamonga. We'd like to thank the men and women that protect our national parks and forests. You make this journey possible. Theme music by Sean Cromwell.